Good morning, everyone. Good morning, YouTube. Let's see if we can get this. Okay, the camera worked out. Um, Still do. Trying to figure out the trading room for everyone, but in the meantime, that's why we're a little late here on YouTube. So let's talk about what we saw overnight and throughout the Sunday session before we get ready for this week. Now, we saw S&P 500 futures hit a new all-time high. We finally broke that 90.5 area, and we pushed into that continuous contract all-time high. I'm looking at it right now. It has not changed. 34.24 even. While the NASDAQ futures, again, they printed a new all-time high. It's a little less shocking to see NASDAQ into new all-time highs, but as I was writing this, it was 1169.2. It's now 1169.5 3/4. We just printed yet another all-time high on NASDAQ, the stronger market as we dance around that R2 level. Now, the futures for these three major U.S. stock averages have advanced after what we saw was President Trump's announcement that the U.S. FDA issued emergency use authorization for, I don't even know how to say this, convalescent plasma to treat COVID-19. And separately, his team have been privately seeking to reassure U.S. companies that they can still do business with the WeChat messaging app in China. So we've seen the S&P 500 futures rise just over 0.7%, NASDAQ up pretty much a percentage point, the Dow up nearly 0.8% right now, and 10-year treasuries have slipped, pushing yields up almost 1 basis point to 0.64. So in Europe, the Stoxx Europe 600 index rises 1.7%. UK's FTSE 100 index adds just over 1.5%, and the German DAX gains just over 2%, and France's CAC climbs about 2.2%. In Asia, Hong Kong's Hang Seng index closes up 1.7%, Japan's Nikkei 0.3%, and the Shanghai Composite up 0.2%. So overall, across the board, global equities have risen overnight. Now, we're also getting some recession news as we've seen a recession survey being taken, and it is likely based on the survey that we see the end of this recession toward the end of 2020 and 2020, or at the beginning or middle of 2021. So a majority of economists say Congress should reinstate supplemental unemployment insurance benefits, as the U.S. economy isn't likely to emerge from a recession until at least later sometime this year or even next year at the turn of that new year. Now, this is according to a survey by National Association for Business Economics. Most of them also support extending the Paycheck Protection Program, so PPP, for small businesses. 2/3 of the respondents said that the economy is still in a recession that began in February, and almost 80% indicated that there is at least a 25% chance for a double dip recession. So there is some confidence in this, but there's also a lack of confidence in that we may see that double dip recession, as a lot of people have been talking about another plunge in the markets towards the end of this year, but we'll see, right? If we go over to China, some of the investors in BitDance, including investment firm General Atlantic, want to take a large stake in TikTok's North America, Australia, and New Zealand operations, while Microsoft or Oracle, which are also vying to buy the units, would get a minor's stake under the plan. So the news comes after reports that TikTok is preparing to legally challenge President Trump's executive order to banning transactions between the popular short-form video app and parent BitDance. So the assets for sale may be valued somewhere in between $25 and $35 billion, sources told Reuters. So the BitDance investors are discussing exchanging some of their shares in BitDance with equity for TikTok assets. Now, continuing in China, we've seen the nation add 9 million jobs in its target. Premier Li Keqiang, not really sure, I probably butchered that, said in the western city of Chongqing, again butchered, he called on the nation to bolster plans to deal with uncertainties after the economy achieved positive results in recent months. So, according to the statement on the central government website on Sunday, China's economy recovered to growth, with the GDP rising in its 3 months to June, up 3.2% year over year, following what we saw was a near 7% decline in Q1. Now, energy producers have also shut in 1.07 million barrels per day, or nearly 58% of offshore crude oil production, and 1.2 million for 45% of natural gas output from the U.S. Gulf of Mexico as Hurricane Marco and Tropical Storm Laura head for the region, according to the U.S. Bureau of Safety and Environmental Enforcement. So Royal Dutch Shell shut in production at all but one of its assets in the U.S. Gulf, while Equinor evacuated and shut in production as its Titan platform. So workers have also been evacuated from 114 production platforms out of 643 manned platforms in the Gulf of Mexico, as we've seen both those tropical storms start to converge. Now, crude oil prices are pushing higher 0.7% at about 6 a.m. Eastern this time. We also nearly touched that $43 mark on crude oil as we see a lot of this supply get killed here. We'll watch a lot of these markets very attentively this morning as we've seen new all-time highs, so we're going to be very excited to see how that trades. But in this week, we've also got no high-impact news coming in Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, but we're very excited to see Jerome Powell speak Thursday at 9 a.m. Eastern as we start the Jackson Hole Symposium throughout Thursday and Friday, the 2-day event, which has the ability to be a huge market mover. Now, as we struggle with these technical difficulties, let's see if we can get on to Zoom this morning for our morning market update. So with that being said, hope you guys all join us as we're going to have a eventful week, especially towards the end of this week. Hope everyone enjoyed this, and good luck trading, everyone. We'll see you guys shortly.